We will not be coerced into hiring any colored person, regardless of his qualifications, as a matter of duress or as a matter of expedience.
When the Negro can prove to the white man that he can live like the white man, then we will accept them.
The only thing that scares me is the neighborhood all getting bad. And if we ever wanted to sell, naturally your house depreciates as soon as the colored get in.
If they move in, the next step we have to accept is intermarriage.
We can be sociable with them in work. We can get along with them and joke with them.
Sure.
But when we leave our job and close the door and we're on our way home, we want them to go in their direction and we can go in ours.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 8, and it reads, "They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashal Barazal, a prophet of doom from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. And that little 1 minute clip, I mean, that's back in the 50s. No, it was actually 60s. Gaslighting Jake, talking, I mean, just mass trash. That wasn't that long ago. And, what is he saying? He said, we're not going to hire you regardless of your skill sets. That's that whole what the whole DEI was about. Even though you were qualified, they weren't going to hire you simply because you were a Jake or so-called Negro. And then that fathead bastard had the nerve to say that until he can that the Negro can prove that he can live like a white man, then they will be accepted. The fuck you talking about? We were living better than you, and you got jealous. All right, you got extremely jealous and came in and destroyed all of our communities. Just look at this map. All the massacres that Esau Edom, along with the help of the United States government, whether they were involved directly or indirectly, helped them to accomplish. All of these thriving, self-sustaining communities are doing quite well by themselves. Okay? We didn't need you. We didn't want to be around you. Like that woman at the end of the video said, we don't need to be around y'all. Don't want to be around you now. And that's evident. It's nothing but trouble the whole time you're around. We don't need you. You came into our communities and destroyed them, And this is, going all the way as most recent as 2015, going all the way back after the Civil War was over. I always tell everyone, go back and look at the movie Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Richard Pryor, and a host of other stars. That setting took place in the early 1900s, right around the 1920s, And if you remember the scene where that officer, Cantone, broke into Richard Pryor's home. Richard Pryor's character was Sugar Ray, on behalf of the owner of the Pity Pat Club, Bugsy Calhoun, all right, played by Michael Lerner, all right. Now, I want you to really think about this when you go back. And first of all, it was two Amalekites, for those of you who can remember, Siskel and Ebert, two 1948 imposters that reviewed that movie and gave it all sorts of bad reviews. But at the same time, through that spiritual eye, it was a whole bunch of nuggets in that movie. But in particular, the scene where that police officer, Officer Cantone, broke into his house, you know, and was mad because Sugar Ray, Richard Pryor, was living pretty well. Now, mind you, Sugar Ray's club and the Pity Pat Club were on two opposite sides of town, okay? Two totally different clienteles, okay? But he sent Bugsy Calhoun sent the guy that played Tommy on Martin to spy out his club, you know, and found out he was pulling down a whole lot of money, more than uh, uh, that Pity Pat Club. Okay, a whole lot more money, and so that officer, you know, expressed his jealousy. You know, he was mad because he said, "I'm living in a fucking hovel. Look at you," you know. So then he said, you know, we want our cut. You know, and Richard Pryor was asking him, well, how much you asking for? He said, what do you say? You make about what, 10 to 15,000 a week? And Richard Pryor said, give or take something like that, if I recall. He said, we'll take 10. And Richard Pryor said, you must be crazy. So then this detective, Officer Calhoun, said, if it was up to me, you wouldn't have nothing. And that's the thing. They didn't want to see Jake successful. They were showing you in that movie. And this is what happened to all of these different locations on this map where they came in and mastered our communities that were doing very well. We didn't need your jobs, you know. I just read, saw the other day during the Great Depression, you know, Jake fared well because Jake was not allowed to put his money in the bank. So when the Depression hit, they lost all of their money, and Jake was doing well, which is right around this time too. All right. So yeah, Esau never wants us to see us do well, and the more you get into this truth and understand, man, I hate this motherfucker over me, man. Straight up. It is obvious that you know they don't know how to rule, as we can see today. But you know, it's just a little while longer because we see all of the prophecies coming to pass. But back to that scene, you know, that they didn't want Jake to have anything. All right, anything. And like I said, self-sustaining communities. These are the ones that they destroyed. You know, we didn't need you to hire us. Point blank. Period. You know, we were living better than you, and that was obvious through the destruction of all these uh, um, thriving communities. All right, but here again, you know, we got the base man ruling over us. All right, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 17. And it reads, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in kingdoms of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the bases of men. All right. And who was that base man? Esau, Edom. Okay. According to Job 30 and 8. All right. The wicked, you know, according to Malachi 1 and 4. You know, as the scriptures say in Job 9:24. Let me go ahead and grab that. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right. And we know the wicked to be Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, according to Malachi 1 and 4. You know, Isaiah 63 says when the Lord returns, he will come back to a world ruled by Edom. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 tells us, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it to follow. Okay, so we know he's in rulership right now, and he's predominantly over Jake. You know, all of his unrighteous decrees and laws are geared against Jake. Only one nation of people, you know, the southern kingdom, Judah, are considered 3/5 of a person in their constitution. None of the other tribes. All right. So yeah, he's over us right now. All right. And for what reason? Because we transgressed. All right. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4. It's in the Apocrypha. Baruch was a scribe for the prophet Jeremiah. Okay. Chapter 4, verse 5 through 7. All right. And it reads, Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. It says, Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, or Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. And who was our number one enemy? Esau, Edom, going all the way back to the time when Isaac gave out the blessings. You know, he sold his birthright and got mad and wanted to kill Jake ever since. All right. Verse 7 says, For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. That's how we got here. All right. Scriptures and the curses tell us, we were scattered to every nation under heaven, according to Deuteronomy 28 and 64. All right. Came over here by ships, and no man would save us. No man would redeem us. That's Deuteronomy 28 to 68. All right. And the curses, right? The curses. All right. But we're supposed to be in rulership since the beginning. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, also in the Apocrypha. Esdras in the Apocrypha is the same as Ezra in the Old Testament. All right. And 2nd Esdras chapter 6, beginning at verse 54. And it reads, And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All right. And who did he choose? Let's get the precept for this. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, beginning at verse 8. It says, When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel, or Yasharallah in the Paleo Hebrew. It says, verse 9, For Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's portion is his people, Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel, according to Genesis 35, 9 through 12, and 32, between verses 26 and 28. He says that Jacob is the lot of his inheritance, okay? So that's who the chosen is in that 2nd Esdras 6 and 54, all right? Verse 55, it says that all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. We're supposed to be in rulership right now, but like I just read in Baruch, we transgressed, sacrificing unto devils and not to our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 56, it says, As for the other people, which also come of Adam, okay, that's the other 17 nations, all right, it's only 18 nations on this earth. It says, Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. All right. They like spit. That's what spittle is. Imagine walking down the street and let's say a hot Las Vegas or Arizona in the peak of the day. You got a cold drink. All right. And it's condensation building up. That water drops off and hits the ground. Are you going to try to put it back? If you spit on the ground, are you going to try to put it back in your mouth? No, it's worthless. That's what he thinks of the other nations. All right, let's prove that. This is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 15 through 17. It says, Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isle as a very little thing. Nothing. Okay? It says, And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. You can, hey, you can burn all the trees in Lebanon, and there's a lot of trees over there, or was it that time? You can't sacrifice. You can't sacrifice. He don't want nothing to do with you. Verse 17 says, All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Vanity meaning emptiness, nothing. All right. So you people, you got kids today that think just like them. All right. That was not that long ago. That short clip. I'll play it again at the end of this video. All right. But yeah, that was something else, Just very, very proud, lofty, speaking lofty when it comes to oppression. We got to do this and we got to do that when we're better than you, and everything that we do. You stole all the inventions. Probably the only thing you did create was a patent office, so you can take it and put your name on it. That's come out, and it's been out. All right, but this truth is coming out. There's nothing you can do about it. All right, let's get back to Second Esdras. All right, in verse 57, it says, And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. And who has constantly done that? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay. He says, But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, you can get that in, he's talking about his elect. You can get that in Exodus 4:22. He says, Thy only begotten and thy fervent lover are given into their hands. I just explained that in Baruch chapter 4, verses 5 through 7. All right. It says, If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? All right. And, we already explained why we don't have our inheritance. We were kicked out of the land for our transgressions and scattered all over the earth. Like I quoted in Deuteronomy 28:64. All right. But now we're at that time. We're seeing all the prophecies have come to pass. World War III is on the table. Okay, the MOTB is definitely here. Martial law, they're looking for something right now. All right, but like someone has mentioned, they want Jake to be riding, but Jake ain't going for it right now. All right, they're not going. They're not out in the streets, and there's plenty of riots going on. But where are those pallets of bricks that you had in 2020? All right. Where are those? Where's that riot gear? Where's those rubber bullets for those people? Where are the tanks? Jake's not out there, and we know, like we said before, it's all a setup. The cruel Lord, Trump. He's pretty much has unbridled power with his Supreme Court. All right. Won't go to jail because he's in office. Giving qualified immunity to the police officers. And just said now, if you hurt a police officer, he wants to make it a death penalty. All right. But they can't do nothing if Jake is not out there. So they're going to come up with something, because we know martial law is coming, civil war is coming. All right. That we do know. All right. So it says, how long shall this endure? And it's not long, like the scriptures say. It is high time for us to awake out of sleep, for our salvation is nearer than what we believe. it is definitely believed that this is the last Passover. You know, that's just speaking as a man, but a lot of the men in GMS feel that, and we hope for that. You know, the 2025 was declared by Apostle Dahar as the year of our deliverance and the destruction of Esau, Edom, and judgment. All right, so that's where we are. Okay, and it's going to be sweet too. You know, we look forward. You know, with those chariot sightings are really picking up. All right, Yahweh and the host of his angels. You know, having all these earthquakes, wars, and rumors of wars. Okay, it's all here. But that video, that is a very, very small, and they know that we're better than they are. That's why they won't let us be successful. You know, but again, that goes back to the curses too. We shall be in want of all things. All right, but the Lord's going to bring us out of this. Okay, His elect specifically. You know, 2/3 of our people have to be cut off and die, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verses 8 and verse 9. Okay, that 1/3 is going to be your 144 rulers and judges from the 12 tribes of Israel and the innumerable multitude, as outlined in Revelation chapter 7. All right, only Israelites, nobody else. Point blank, period. Only the nation of Israel. All right, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4. Back in chapter 4. And start at about verse 25. It says, "My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai." And that has been the case. You know, we are enduring. The goal is to endure to the end. Just like Yahweh said in Matthew 24. It says, "For thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly shalt thou see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck." And they know this is coming too. They know it's coming. Verse 26, "My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies." Verse 27, "Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you." All right. It says, "For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, so being returned, seek him 10 times more." And, you know, the prophets are doing that on the highways and byways, sighing and crying, you know, for the abominations of our people, showing them their transgressions. All right. Verse 29 says, "For he that have brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation." All right. We will never be ashamed again. We'll be in rulership. All right. Along with Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, "Take a good heart, a good mind, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee." Comfort. And that's what we're looking for. You know, tired of you getting up, going to these jobs every day, and having the money taken away from you as soon as you get it. You know, says verse 31, "Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall." That's going to be all you nations, but more importantly, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Can't fucking wait to get our hands on you, you know, when that time comes. If I'm one of those men, you know, meditate terror day and night on you, you know, for your smug attitude, your proudness and smugness. All right. Your other nation's going to get it too, but Esau Edom's going to get it the worst. All right. He already knows his end is coming. The elites know, and these low-level dumbass Edomites, you know, feel it in their spirit too, you know, because if you watch the Pulse, more and more Jake, you know, you got a lot of Jake that still love him, think they can be saved, but a lot of Jake saying, "We don't like y'all," you know. We don't trust you. As far as I can remember as a kid, not even being the truth, that was always the case with me. You know, I lived peaceably with you, but I never trusted you. You know, one of my old jobs, hey, you want to go hunting? No, fuck that. I'm not going nowhere with y'all. All right. It says, miserable are the cities which thy children served, especially Babylon the Great, aka America. Once this place goes down, it will never rise again, and Esau Edom will never rule again. All right. It says, miserable is she that received thy sons. Okay. Every place where we served in captivity. All right. Verse 33. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. And you see that now. All right. Starting with this curses, starting to lift off of Jacob and go over to Esau, Edom, according to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Look at them crying now about this DEI. They made Jake the face of that stuff when it was really Edomite women who benefited the most. The Department of Labor statistics said Jake was the last one to benefit from that, less than 5%. All right. Even with that, we the last ones hired, first ones fired. That continues to this day. All right. But yeah, you're going to be crying when you get wasted. Nowhere to go. All right. Because this place is going to be done. And the current state of isn't real is going to be rebuilt by them. The elites are going to be the first fruits of slavery. You know that. All right. Verse 34 says, for I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And like I said, watch the poster stuff right now. They are mourning right now. All right. That arrogance that you saw at the beginning of the video, and I'll show it again at the end, that, you're going to pay for that. Just that smugness alone is enough to make, I ain't going to say that. All right. It says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting. That's those chariots. A whole bunch of them coming back with Yahawashai, and Michael. A whole bunch of them coming back. All right. It's that Psalm 64, I think 17. 64. Or was it 68? Psalm 68. Khan says, the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. And Yahushai is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. So a bunch of chariots are coming back, and they're gonna be outnumbered. The armies that's gonna fight against them. All right, the Edomite armies. Like his scriptures say, in 1 hour, this place is gonna come to naught, and all the military. All right, back to Baruch 4. All right. It says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. Only desert animals are going to live here once this place is done. Like the scriptures say, you won't know where every state was. It's going to be one big sacrifice, America. All right. It says, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away, they come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Yep. Your days are numbered, Esau Edom. Your days are numbered. All right, so with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Abba Shalom.